I'm RJ Young. This is John Hoover. John is one of the guys that helped me get along in this business when I was first getting started out. And,
early age, huh?
Well, look.
Before the hair, before the beard, still had the big, thick glasses.
And wore ties to work.
Yes, you did.
And sweater vests and Kangol hats. Yeah, I mean, but even before that, you, Sittler, Emig, you guys that I read. So this is as much fun for me as I hope it will be for you.
Oh, I'm having a blast already. I love your studio. Your studio is French, what do you call it? French chef.
It's a bedroom, dude. It's a bedroom.
Mine's a closet build out.
Hey, and mine, one point, my studio was a piece of cardio equipment.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
So what do you want? You want to talk about OU? You want to talk about what's going on with you? What do you want to do?
Well, let's, you know what? Let's give the people what they want.
What do they want?
Let's talk about OU.
Okay.
We just had the press conference yesterday. 3 coaches get up there, sit down at the table, go back and forth. Then we had breakouts. That was pretty cool. Questions?
Yes. Screw the press conference. I wasn't there for the breakouts. So give me the cliff notes, because what I could see of video posted to social media is Jamar Cain was winning.
Yes.
Okay.
He's got it figured out. Cool guy who he pointed at us with his finger and said, "You all should work in small newspapers." And I'm in the back. I got my little camera. I'm like, "Yo, I was working at a small newspaper." He's talking about me. I worked at all the small newspapers. I did all the crappy, crummy jobs. And when he came out and said, "Man, I've been through. I come from the mud," is what he said. Real quick, if you want to check it out, go to my YouTube channel.
Yes. Search your name.
Just John Hoover. Don't search John E. Hoover. It's that conspiracy psycho dude from Las Vegas. Just search John Hoover.
Him too.
Yeah, search him too. I'm sure it's fun. So
you search my name, you get a company that.
Is that right?
Yeah, Xerox
yeah.
Stacks.
Downtown.
Oh yeah. No. Just in the South.
What am I thinking of? Downtown Tulsa. I thought there was somebody young or something, like a copier. Anyway.
They might have branched out. I just know that I get sent pictures all the time of RJ Young wrapped cars.
Nice.
And I was in Nashville for a couple of events, and I kept looking around. It's like, are you the guys that are messing up my SEO?
Very nice.
And they've been around since 1954. So now they're like, no, you're messing up ours.
You are, actually.
And there are no periods in their name either, which really messes with me. So, yeah, like we both got it going on. Yeah.
So, Jamar Cain, when he started saying, "I came from the mud, I've been through blizzards in Wyoming. I don't have a problem with getting in a car and going 7 hours to go see a recruit and then turning around and going 7 hours back." He said, "You try recruiting somebody, a big defensive tackle, to North Dakota State, to Fargo, when it's 42 below zero, and you bring them up there and they're like, 'Coach, it's cold up here.'" A dude can recruit.
Okay.
That's what Lincoln Riley said. That dude can recruit. So he's fired up about him.
We'll see.
I think OU fans should be fired up about him. He's got what Lincoln Riley called a track record in recruiting. He hasn't had to go out and get those 5 stars like he's going to have to now.
There you go.
But he's gotten guys that I think Lincoln Riley's been impressed with. When Lincoln Riley sits down and says, "You got a track record. I like the recruits that you brought in. The coaches around you say you've done a good job." Sooner fans need to be happy about that.
It's ranked 108th in total defense and dead damn last in pass defense when you brought in a dude that decided that he was going to run a 4-man front scheme.
Yeah.
You want to call it 3-4, you want to call it 3-3-5. I call it 4 men on the line of friggin' scrimmage. And as far as what Riley thinks is good defensively, I'm not really going to.
Not yet? No.
He thought Mike was good.
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay.
He thought Mike could get good. I think there's a difference.
How many years? Let's see. 1.5 years? 18 games? Where are we at?
Is that what it was?
Before he got fired?
Is that all it was?
14 plus 6, 20.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Yeah, okay. I'm not. No.
I was doing a radio show with Lauren Rue on the franchise.
Okay.
And when Ruffin McNeil came on, I said, step 1 right there. He's replacing Mike Stoops. How wrong was I? But that would have been the perfect time. You get hired as the head coach at the University of Oklahoma. Bob Stoops' shadow is walking down the hallway. You look over at Mike Stoops and you say, Mike, let's find you a job. You know I love you. You know you're my brother. And you know I got all the respect in the world for your brother who's walking down the hallway. But we got to find you a job. And Lincoln didn't do it. Lincoln felt that loyalty, and it burned him. Loyalty can get you burned sometimes.
Well, now
I think we all have found that out over the years.
Now we got to walk out the Mike Stoops conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you this job, but if you take this job, you got to keep my brother on as your defensive coordinator.
I think there might have been a little bit of that.
Yo!
Not to the extent that you can't have this job unless you sign this contract saying Mike gets to stay here. But I think there was a feeling of loyalty on Lincoln's part. I really got to do this solid for Bob. I really think so.
Well, he models himself after Bob. That part is abundantly clear. Like, that's actually the thing that I found the most interesting about Riley so far is we all were under the assumption at one point in time that Bill Snyder or Hayden Fry might be Bob's mentor. No, my mentor is Steve Spurrier.
Steve Spurrier.
Right?
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that clicked. That turned a lot of things on for me. And for Riley, you're going, is it Ruffin? Is it Leach? No. And my mentor is Bob Stoops. Yay, okay. And now to see an offensive version of what that might look like, right? It's fascinating for me to watch and see. But to your point about Jamar Cain, but it's the same thing I'm saying about DeMarco Murray. Okay? Mm-hmm. As we say in football, as we say with anything, potential is a dangerous word. It's a dangerous word. To have the potential to be great.
Well, but Mike Stoops came in with a track record of having done it before. And what did that get you? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think in some cases I'd rather have potential than laurels.
Yeesh. So this is the part where I actually have to cape for Mike Stoops on one point.
Okay.
He brought in the kids he wanted to get. Like the kids he wanted or the kids he got. You know, like
mostly, yeah.
Like Caleb Kelly, Ricky DeBerry. You know, that was the other part. So I'm fascinated by Grinch, who is not necessarily an elite recruiter, but is by all accounts one of the best schematic defensive coordinators working today, who has surrounded himself with Roy Manning, Brian Odom, and now Jamar Cain, Calvin Thibodeau to a degree. You know, whereas, like, for instance, I'll say this about Kish. Kish is the reason Mark Andrews came to Oklahoma. He's the reason Spencer Rattler was even brought to Oklahoma. Grant Calcaterra, his own position group. We could have our, fights about that. But Murray ended up being a player, even when Draper didn't, so forth, so on. So, like, they all have their pros and their cons. What I want to know is not necessarily can they recruit, although that's a big part of it. Mm-hmm. I want to see what it looks like next year, but in 2021, when the excuses go out the window, right? Because, like, I personally get labeled as a homer to this team, as is abundantly clear. I'm pretty hard on them, right? But also, like, it's February, and everybody wants to be excited in February, which is fine.
We just had signing day.
Did we?
I know, right? like, did you check the mail? No, did you check the mail? Oh, there might be something out there. Let's go see. That's what this signing day felt like.
And for me, it was more about other kids. Like Jordan Birch. Did you follow this at all? Mm-mm. Okay, so Jordan Birch committed to play at South Carolina on early signing, the beginning of early signing period. Didn't sign his national letter of intent. Okay? Under Armour All-America game. Where are you going? I'm going to go play with my friends. Where is that? With my friends. You committed to South Carolina.
Like in the schoolyard?
Right. And then it was, Clemson feels like they're in this. Then he took a visit to LSU. And then signing day came and went. Muschamp is doing his signing day presser after watching the kid at his signing day get up, take the microphone, give a soliloquy about how thankful he is to be in this position, and then not announce where he's going or who he's signing with, while Muschamp is there with his kid and teammates from South Carolina. They got to get up and go home.
Hadn't heard that story.
Right, and Muschamp is asked, so about Jordan Birch, like, because he's avoiding it. You have to ask him.
Can't talk about him yet.
So Thursday, the day after, about 7:45 Central Time, they sent out a tweet announcing that they basically got his signing, along with Zach Evans, who is also still out in the ether somewhere. And that's, for many people, the most athletic tailback, right? Georgia, not Georgia, released. Nothing about Oklahoma was exciting. Everything that was exciting about signing day was all SEC kid, what's he going to do? There's this wild card over here, Zach Evans, that's really talented that just doesn't seem to be able to get along with anybody. And then there's Jordan Birch and his mom who are over here doing their own thing all together. So, like, you say check the mail, but I looked around and I was like, yo, that's the stories, right?
You're like, has the mailman is he still alive? Is he on the back of a pony somewhere in Wyoming?
Because that's how it felt, man.
That was weird. That's weird. That's a weird story. I hadn't heard that.
But
signing day is weird these days.
Well, I mean, and so is introductory press conferences where your man Riley takes a shot at his transfer entrance by saying, okay, scheme fit. All right, cool. Michael Thompson. Get that. Maybe Troy James.
Yeah.
Draper? Jackson? Parker?
Yeah.
Right. And then we got younger, more talented players.
Yeah.
Piling on?
You might be reading too much into it.
Okay. All right.
He's trying to say that he's trying to play the political game. He's trying to say the right things. I don't think he's taking shots.
Okay.
Lincoln's not cut like that.
The guy that says that, everybody wants to rank a class on signing day, which is the absolute worst time to rank
That's right.
class.
Mm-hmm.
That not a shot?
No, that to me is a CYA. Hey boys, we didn't get any 5 stars, but I like these guys we got.
Chandler Morris is my favorite quarterback in this class.
Now let's parse up the words. If we had the transcript,
okay,
I would like to see and hear exactly what he said. Maybe you can splice that in here later. It's on my YouTube channel. Go look for it, John Hoover. Shameless plug.
Hey, get him in.
So Chandler Morris he was our number 1 guy, is what he said. Isn't it? Is
in this class.
In this class. Meaning Chandler Morris can't beat out Spencer Rattler. We don't need a guy ranked number 1 in our class who can come in here right away and beat out Spencer Rattler or make Spencer Rattler feel pressed. We don't want Spencer Rattler to lose his job for one day and then get mad and enter the transfer portal. That's what the number 1 guy in this class means. Our number 1 guy in this class, according to Lincoln Riley, is a guy who can come in, play his role, be the backup, play some snaps when he's needed. He ain't going to play. I didn't know Chandler Morris until a couple days after he signed. I didn't know he was 5'10". You know I love short people. You know I love you, RJ. 5'10" quarterbacks, the elite ones, there ain't many of them. I'm going to go with Mason Fine. You know my guy, Mason Fine.
Mm-hmm.
How many more?
Kyler Murray.
Say again?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is 5'10".
Mm.
Unique, all-time athlete. Come on now.
So the other 5'10" quarterback we got.
First time in history somebody's been drafted first round in 2 different sports. Come on now. The dude he's on his own. He's on his own planet. He could play for Space Jam.
Russell Wilson.
There's a good one.
Drew Brees.
5'11" and 3/4. We're told.
Okay.
We're told.
Okay.
But you see what I'm saying?
No, I'm going to push back because Bryce Young is also 5'10". Bryce Young is not.
That's the number 1 guy in the class.
And that was the guy you wanted.
That's the guy they wanted.
And that's why I'm taking him to task here. Is that Bryce in July 2018 made a decision between USC and Oklahoma. All right?
He's in the Kyler Murray class, though.
Very much
so. In terms of athletic
Very
ability,
much so.
Speed, breakaway.
The dude is ranked higher than DJ Uiagalelei, who is 6'5", 250.
You stroked that, by the way.
It's practice.
Say it again.
Uiagalelei, right? So
close enough.
Well, no, because if you listen to him say it,
that's how he says it.
Oh man,
well, that's what I'm saying. It's close enough. It's perfect.
It's like the Zorro, right? It really is. It's, and I had help. So shout to 247 sports recruiting analyst Greg Biggins, who sent me an audio recording of his father saying it for Greg.
Awesome.
Which is awesome because there's nothing phonetic about that.
That's awesome and very helpful. Obanaya Okoronkwo left me hanging about 3 times. I'm like, come on, man, you're on the radio now. Help me say your name.
And Bob.
It doesn't matter. It does matter.
Call me Obese.
That's another one.
Obese. No, here's the thing. Saying Obo.
Yeah.
Or even Oko, depending on who you were talking to, right? But what's his first name?
Obonya.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Because I finally held him down and said, this is how I'm going to say it. Is it right? And he said, no. Yes. Thank you.
Okoronkwo gave Bob fits.
Yeah.
And that was one of my favorites.
Chuka and Dulue.
No,
remember that one?
Right, golly.
God, I loved hearing him say Chuka's name.
And then Chuka walking into a room, still my favorite. Yo, coach, why you can't say my name like that, man? Why you got to butcher my name, coach? You know, I'm over here speaking 3 languages. You can't say my name, coach.
Right.
He just pure energy, class, but also just cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, Chuka, we need you to blow up from a speed rusher to a nose. Cool, I'm gonna go eat some more Chipotle. How y'all doing?
He was one of those guys that Oklahoma defensive line has missed in the last few years.
Well, since you brought it up, can we judge DeMarco Murray based on how he recruits running backs or how he just recruits?
Have to.
Just running backs.
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying that, right, is
he came in to not lose Chase McClellan.
Okay.
Jace McClellan.
Jace McClellan. Yep. Mm-hmm. And so is Cain just recruiting defensive end and outside linebackers? That's what I'm asking, right? Because like if DeMarco
he's going to recruit the West Coast.
Okay.
DeMarco's going to recruit, we think, West and Texas.
Right.
And running backs.
So to the point that I'm making here is Calvin Thibodeau the only person responsible for bringing in a 5-star defensive tackle?
Mm-hmm. No.
Yes.
It's got to be a team effort.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have the triumphant of Lincoln, DeMarco, and Cale try to get that guy, right? Or are you going to recruit him by his position coach? I mean, that's not disrespect. That's just acknowledging the all-pro in the room, right?
That's right.
And I found that to be the most fascinating part of this entire staff.
Go ahead.
No, please.
But if you're a D tackle, if you're a big 5-star D tackle, or I'm sorry, DN in this case, let's say, you got to meet your position coach. You got to have a relationship with your position coach. DeMarco Murray comes in, swoops in. He rushed for 1,600 yards in the NFL, led the league, all that, right? 60-some touchdowns at OU, all that. What's that mean to me? How's DeMarco Murray going to get me to the league?
To which I add this. There's only one place to go right now if you're a defensive lineman.
That's true.
Right?
Conference-wise, that's right.
No, but just period, right? Because, like, in the conference, we can have a different discussion. But this conference does not hold a candle to Clemson in that regard, Georgia in that regard, Alabama in that regard. But Ohio State is the move. And the reason Ohio State is the move is because Larry Johnson Sr. Same reason that Bill Bedenbaugh is the move for offensive linemen. And people are getting frustrated. Why didn't Bill Bedenbaugh get more 5-star offensive linemen? He gets who he needs. He gets who he wants.
Yeah.
Right? They do just fine. And as long as he continues to do that, nobody's going to get upset. That said, Calvin Thibodeau against Larry Johnson Sr. head up in a battle, and they are right now.
Yeah.
You know, Tumise Adeleye he likes Oklahoma. He also likes LSU, Ohio State, Florida. He's at IMG right now. That's defensive end, right? Does that guy play defensive tackle or defensive end at Oklahoma is an important question for me because at 6'5", 265, is he Jalen Redmond? Right? Is he Ronnie Perkins?
Yeah, is he ready right now, or is he going to grow into a 3 technique?
Well, that's just it. He can do either one.
Yeah.
And who's recruiting him? Who's leading? Is it Thibodeau? Is it Cain? Is it Cale?
They're going to roll Jamar Cain out there and unleash the beast.
So
he is a very engaging personality, I'll say that.
That, right? Is he going to be on the phone half an hour?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this guy's electric.
Okay.
With his personality.
Okay.
Especially when he was talking about small newspapers. I was like, I'm in, coach, I'm in.